Hello. So I'm here on time, a minute early, in fact. There's Dan. Hi, Dan. You're our first sign in, 9:59. I can see you've got your mic off, Dan, but have you taken images with the Soul Mirror in the last few days?
Yes, good morning. Sorry, I just switched back on. Let me get the camera on here eventually, but
Not
yes.
at all. Not at all. Well, do you want to send them to me so that I can have a look and then I can start interpreting them? Seems to be the most sensible thing to do. You can either share it. I don't know. Can you share a JPEG? I don't think you can. I think you might have to email
Yeah, I
it.
can share. Looks like I can share my screen, Thornton.
Okay,
Hold on one
perfect.
second.
Yeah. Let's do that. I'm going to share this. I'm going to allow you to share your screen, and then we should be all right. That would make much more.
All right, let me go in. I'm gonna go. Yeah, that'll be helpful. I'm gonna go in and do the ones that we did last night.
Brilliant. Well done, you. Well, I'm so
Let me
glad you took up my my offer.
No, this is awesome. This is very happy you put that offer out there. So let me.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
See. So here's
yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
So I have two. I did mine and I did my wife's here. So we can start with me, I guess. Here.
Yeah. No, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Well, that is a good start. And I mean, I really appreciate that you've done the pictures with a white background. I mean, anyone who's on my team around the world, there's quite a few, dare I say, thousands of us now, would immediately say, oops, that image is quite dark. It means in the sense that you can tell it's not so well lit, but it's still totally interpretable, if that's a word, because we can see some very specific patterns. And the other thing that if you do redo this image, just take the black t-shirt off and let us see your heart chakra and solar plexus and everything else, because you know, seeing through thick black cotton is quite a challenge, especially when it's not cotton. But anyhow, here we go. So I'm really pleased. Pardon?
No, that makes sense. I didn't even think about that last night with taking the shirt off. So
Not at all.
I'll
Not at
definitely
all.
do that in the future.
Not at all, not at all. And I'll tell you why, Dan, because it'll make sense if I explain it, is that the way biofield imaging works is that we're looking at the relationship between your emanations and whatever light is making those emanations visible. In other words, you know, the lighting in the room. And, you know, we do try and standardize it by putting the light source directly in front of the person. And this could be, you know, a lamp with the lampshade taken off, or a spotlight or something, or even you know, a photographic light if you've got one, and the camera is exactly, or the phone is exactly where the light is. So it's just that the iPhone light itself is a bit weedy to fully illuminate somebody. So, you know, a little bit of help helps. But anyhow, like I said, I can interpret these images, and I think you're going to like my interpretation, because for what I can see, it's really looking good. And obviously I don't know anything about you, Dan, but you have a very important relationship going on. I mean, I call it the flower. It's that part of the biofield that we can see, you know, on a daily basis, because, you know, we don't dress our face. I mean, we try now with masks, I guess, but the simple fact is that from this image, you and I can both clearly see there's a source of light at your brow, means it's kind of very distinctive, your forehead. There's a pink pattern around it, but in the center, not only is there a sort of sense of a vortex, an actual open chakra, but also the colors are very significant, in that in conjunction with your throat chakra, you have this amazing a kind of it's divine communication. That's what it is. It's that you're tapping into divinity and you're able to communicate it. So this is the perfect, I mean, if I don't see this on an advanced healer, then they're not doing it right. So all I can say is that your equipment, your biofield is very much actively doing the sacred work. So I have to commend you on that. That's really impressive. You know, the first thing that we look at in a biofield image is what we call the focal point. It's the thing that catches our eye in an image. And, you know, it's often something to improve. So because you don't have a specific focal point as such that's drawing my eye, that again is a really good thing. I've already started talking about positives, not, oh, wow, we could improve this, that, and the other. In other words, your focal point is commendable, you know, is the fact that these two chakras are open and dynamic. Now let me go into the nitty gritty of it. Around your throat, you'll notice there's a pink sort of rather imperfect circle.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, I see it.
And it's funny because when we get down to the specifics of the throat chakra, for example, that pattern, the little pink pattern, means to me, and it's therefore the message I'm giving to you, Dan, is that, wow, this is a guy who's speaking his truth. He's absolutely in the zone, but he doesn't always feel heard.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So what that is about, you know, if I see this in ladies, and you can see that it's a kind of henpecking type thing, much more severely, I have to say that the pink is sort of pressing in on the opening of the throat chakra. I often tell them, you know, just turn on your heels. You know, if you're having a conversation with somebody and they start interrupting you in the middle of your sentence, and like, you know, can you get me this, or and you're like expressing yourself, you know, at that point, turn on your heels and show them the back of your head, because it's something that can be fixed. You know, it can be a sort of general thing, like I've got all this amazing material and I'm not really getting it out there. It can be that kind of I'm not feeling heard. Or it can be, you know, my daughter is such a little, you know, self-possessed, self-absorbed child. I can't do anything, and I can't do anything right. And, you know, everything I say or do is not good enough, you know, and doesn't even say please and thank you when I do something, you know what I mean? It's that kind of a situation where, you know, you're really not feeling heard or appreciated. So in your case, I'm nitpicking a little bit. This is like a 20 or 30% issue. It's not like the main story that we have to deal with today, but it certainly is there. And it's about you also listening. You know what I mean? It's like, you maybe this is about, you know, the corner cutting in a family or in a workspace or whatever it is, where we're not totally honoring each other. And so this is just a little kind of shot over the bows to say, wow, you're doing all this amazing high-end, really important work, human work, and yet, you know, better to do less of that and have more energy for home, you know, an hour before you think you're going to shut that computer, shut it and kind of wander off to discover what everybody's doing. Like you, young lady, what are you up to? You going swimming? Speak up.
Nope.
No, you are. You're going swimming. You've got your hair all brushed.
No, I can't go swimming without my goggles.
Ah, so what you're saying is you're looking for your goggles, is it?
Yeah.
Where were they the last time?
No idea.
What about your bag? You probably
I
took.
didn't have a bag.
Ah, well then you may have lost them. Anyway, I'm in the middle of something, sweetheart, so you're gonna have to let me be. Is that all right?
Yeah, I was listening to
Okay.
a conversation.
Ah, that's a much better picture, Dan. Let's see the next one. Now, you can see the lighting is a tiny bit coming from the left-hand side. But anyway, that does illuminate something that I do want to speak to next, really, which is, you know, what we call oral hygiene. Now, you know, I'm a hopeless advocate, whatever I am hopeless at, but, you know, I'm not a big brusher myself. So I like to use hydrogen peroxide. And my lady mixes it down so that it's, so when you put it in your mouth, a little kind of sip. I have a glass by the sink and I use it twice a day. And basically that just kind of knocks out any stuff that's going on in your mouth. But that's quite powerful stuff. You know, really, I'm an advocate of oil pulling. But anyway, what I'm getting to, Dan, is that, well, let me ask you a question first. Are you a clincher?
Clench my jaw.
Yeah.
I find myself doing that more at night too.
Yeah. That's what, this is what we're getting at. And this is really the crux of our gift together, Dan. Okay. Now, when we see a lot of yellow in the biofield, that you can see in this image, forget the one you showed me before, but just in this image, you can see there's a lot of yellow in the field. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now that relates to something like I call Everest Base Camp. Okay? Everest Base Camp means you've already climbed 20,000 feet. You know, here you are really at the roof of the world. So base camp is a bit of a misnomer in a sense. But it's also where all the empty gas bottles are. The real spiritual peak is up there at the top of Everest. But you, Dan, are vacillating, which means you're vacillating between feeling incredibly human and then also feeling incredibly divine. Because you've done all this work, you've taken the scenic route, you've done maybe many lifetimes of service, and here you are ready to seize your own prize, but you're kind of sabotaging yourself. And what I mean by that is that your human humbleness, another word I'm not sure it exists, can't believe you're all divine. And so you're thinking about it. In other words, yellow is the color we see in the biofield before enlightenment. It's the waiting room. It's the color of those who've done so much sacred work. What they now have to do is the leap of faith, you know, in service. And it's funnily enough where a lot of people are at right now. You know, this mentalizing, if you were sitting next to me, Dan, and we weren't doing a live broadcast, I'd say it's mind fucking. It's where we allow our mind to, and this is just chatter. This isn't me driving in control. And I'll explain to you very, very simply what this is. This is all about breath work. Okay. So when our mind is chattering, our consciousness is focused up here. And so we relegate the significance of the breath. And now there are all sorts of other things that conspire, like, for example, these fabulous chairs we're both sitting in. you know, the chair conspires because it compresses the diaphragm. And the sacred thing about the breath is that we breathe in to our lungs, sure, carbon dioxide and oxygen exchange, but the real act is the pumping of the diaphragm with the deep breath. And when the diaphragm is pumped, it's like a bellows. It sets the splenic chakra spinning. And the splenic chakra, I don't know, is kind of next to your left elbow. Okay. So, so if you're, I mean, you look like a sporty, healthy guy, but there are too many hours in the day when you're not breathing consciously and you're allowing your mind to mentalize. So it's like being in first conscious or spiritual first gear. You know, you're just, it's great to be in first gear when you're doing the mountain roads. You know, you can be in first gear the whole day, but to be now on the motorway in first gear, and again, it's all about the breath. It's about you connecting with, you know, the Vedic tradition gives us a whole branch of healthcare called pranayama, the, you know, breathing exercises. And so I'm now connecting with this, with the TMJ, with the jaw and the clenching, because as you may well know, a bit like, you know, the stage of a rock concert, you know, by the time you get to the edge of the stage, there's cables that are, you know, 200 thick, every speaker, every amp, and the equivalent of that thickness of cable is coming down here, TMJ, 4,000 nerves coming down through here. So this is your kind of stress barometer, this right here. Okay, so if you're clenching, it's because you're telling yourself about this sort of thing. I mean, I read in a group the other day that, you know, the jaw is connected with the orgasm. So this could be something really easy to attend to, enjoyable to attend to. But it is that process whereby we're embracing conscious breathing. That what that does is it knocks us out of first gear so we can really be energized, because the crown chakra is like a, you know, I don't know whether you call them bumper cars where you live, but in the fun fair we have these cars that are, they only move because the matrix above them is electrified and they're all kind of connected. Yeah, so that's bit like what we're like, you know, in terms of, you know, consciousness and our connection with the crown chakra. We're like a bumper car, and so that thing needs to stay on the grill. Right. But the other thing that perhaps people don't realize is that, you know, we're the ones in control. You know, we're the ones that are human. We're the spiritual beings that sort of are well equipped for Earth. We've got the spacesuit for it, you know, the human body. So that, you know, gives us an opportunity to, how to say, yeah, let me put it another way. Have you ever heard of the silver thread or the silver cord?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, they're very esoteric terms and they relate to astral projection, so that when you leave your body, you can actually experience this connection, which is you connecting with yourself. And it's called the silver thread, implying that it's actually quite a thin thing. Silver cord, yeah, well, that implies, I guess, it's a little bit thicker. But my point is that the more we trust our own divinity, in other words, rather than externalizing divinity, like, okay, Father, I'm going to serve you. What do you want me to do? Or please, I pray to you for X, Y, Z. You kind of accept that divinity in you, and then you can personify it. I mean, it's dangerous because, you know, it's very easy to become ungrounded and think that you're doing it. And that's obviously, we call that the cobra effect, where you actually cut off the crown chakra, and those people are actually just sucking the living daylights out of others. And they're the kind of standard kind of, you know, big arena guys who need 10,000 people in the audience to get off at night.
Yeah.
And those guys are just basically sucking the living daylights out of the 10,000 people in front of them because they've lost touch with divinity, because divinity just doesn't work that way. Divinity doesn't do arenas. It's not the way it works. It's very much eye to eye, as you well know. So my point is that I'm commending you for all the work you've done up till now, because here you are at the Olympics in the last 100 meters, and you're not competing with anyone. It's not a competition. This is you fulfilling your potential. And gee, I see hundreds of people who I encourage just to get to this stage,
Oh, wow.
because this is great. This is safe. This is connected. This is doing all kinds of stuff. But we live in a busy modern world. And so, we have to take extra steps. Okay, no worries. We have to take extra steps to kind of stay in the zone. Like, for example, Dan, we have to be in the forest every day, and if you're a townie, that means you have to be in the park. You have to get that tree grounding stuff every day. And if you don't do it, it's an assumption, because we're fish. We need to swim in that stuff. You can stick me in a box and mess with my chakras with all these corners and all this EMF, and I'm strong and healthy and I can handle that shit. But there's got to be a renewal. There's got to be the hour or two in the day when I'm not doing that. And if you're way off the mark here, Dan, then just get a dog.
Yeah, we do have a dog. I actually get out and walk in the morning as well. So just
Right,
get-
great. So you're the man. But the point is that, I'm asking you now to use your jaw as your own barometer. So that we've optimized this conversation and the gifts that can come from it by feeling that relaxed.
Okay.
Yeah, that's our barometer. And how you're going to get there is with breath work. So after speaking to me, I mean, don't get me wrong, you may be a breath work instructor. I'm here not to suck and teach eggs, but I am here to remind you of the gifts that you have to work with. And if they're new gifts, go find them, because this may be the thing that you also need to pass on in your work, about the breath. It's a very important aspect of self. It's the only thing we can really control. I can't make my fingers suddenly bend backwards, but I can change my breathing. I can't make my hair stand up on end, but I can breathe and change my breath. It's something that we have control over, and it's kind of gone under the radar in its significance. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm very human. Oh, okay. Wow. What a beauty. Okay, so that one's too dark. That one, leave that picture on there. My God, is this your lady?
Yes, it is.
Oh my God, no wonder you're so psychic. So what's going on with her right eye? Does she wear glasses?
Yeah.
Okay, is she there with you now?
Yeah, she is.
Come on, let me meet her.
Okay. We might look like a little bit of a hot mess this morning here, Thornton, but I'll have.
Can't you tell what a hot mess I am? I mean, I'm the most unshaven, long-haired.
No makeup tip this morning, so.
Yeah, don't be shy, ma'am. Don't be shy. Wow, I just want to commend you. You look absolutely fantastic. I hope you appreciate the significance of your own image here, because I'm looking at someone who is deeply intuitive and, psychic, basically. And I just hope that you haven't been told so many times not to trust your intuition that you don't trust it, because you're an absolute queen here. Wow, you're a healer. You're really a spiritual person. And so I just want to commend you on that. And I think Dan is very, very lucky. I hope he realizes how lucky he is.
I do, I
Thank
do.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, goddess, I just salute you, really. So tell me a couple of things. What's going on with your right eye?
I wear glasses and I don't know, probably just tired maybe.
Yeah, I think there's something going on a little bit more. Do you know when you test your eyes, are they the same? Are they the same strength, your glasses? Which
No.
is, okay, which is stronger?
I think my left eye is stronger.
Yeah, your right eye is a bit weaker, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I don't know whether you can see the picture I'm seeing, but pretty much where your little arrow is, there's a
Yeah.
little bit of pinkiness on that eye. Do
Yeah.
you sit in front of a computer a lot?
Not really, no.
So
On my phone, yes.
on your phone, are you right-handed?
Yes.
Okay, so that's interesting. Now, um, I'm just going to shoot a little bit of a wild card because I am only looking at a sort of upper body level shot. But do you have anything going on with your hips at the moment? Because your left shoulder is ever so slightly lower than your right shoulder. And that tends to mean that you're kind of compensating structurally for something. Now, ma'am, do you have prolapsed arches? Do you have flat feet?
No.
You've got good arches, have you?
Uh-huh.
So do your knees are fine, your ankles are fine.
My knees are, with the grandbabies, my knees are kind of going pretty bad. Holding
Ah, well, the
grandbaby.
thing is, young lady, you don't look like you could possibly be a grandmother.
Thank
So
you.
that works both ways, that grandbaby story. Okay, well, still, so you're lugging little hairy people about who scream and they're straining your knees. Is that what you
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
Well, that's probably the most sacred job of all. But anyhow, so yes, that's probably a hip type thing. Where do you live? Do you live near the sea?
No, we're in Colorado.
Oh my word, I'm in Colorado, so you just
Yeah,
up the
that's what I
road.
thought. I was gonna ask you if you're still in Colorado right now, so.
Yeah. That's probably why we've got such a good clear line. Yeah, no, I'm up in what they call the burn area where the Cameron Peak fire was. So we keep getting flooded out.
Oh, yeah, wow.
So anyhow, I still want to keep talking about this amazing picture that I'm looking at. Couple of things. You know, it's only going to get more of an issue, this, if you don't deal with it. So,
Okay.
you know, your gait at 70, how you walk down the road is really important. If you're tipped over and crunched and wobbling, you know, that's iceberg stuff. You've seen those girls who can't even bend their knee and they can't walk properly. And you're right at that window, young lady, which is, do you want to get crusty or do you want to claim your mobility back? And I, you know, I'm not the guy, you can tell by the look of me, to be recommending kind of Jimmy type things. But you know what I would do if I was you and Dan is start doing Tai Chi, because this is about moving energy. And at
Okay.
our age, 50 plus, or you know, whatever, there's no point starting yoga or some you know heavy exercise, because it can, you know, you end up all bruised. So yeah, I don't know, but if you found a lovely little old Chinese guy who teaches Tai Chi in your local park, that
Mhm.
could be the ticket.
Okay,
And what
perfect.
you'll find is that you're cheating, basically. And you know, when there's a little bit of a pinch on your knee, instead of using your muscles and your tensegrity and your tendons to stand up, you're squatting on your hip. We all do it. We all do it. It's like kind of neutral, but you know, it adds up, and I can just notice it in your shoulders, and I'm sure it's, you know, in your awareness. So if nobody's given you a tip to how to challenge and fix it, I mean, chiropractors are interesting, osteopaths are better. I don't know how many osteopaths there are in our part of the world, but you can take control. You know, there's something called Alexander technique, which is really a commitment, and I'm not recommending it, but it's where you actually completely reset your posture.
Okay.
Now, for example, when we've got you know, a proud sign of motherhood, in other words, a big chest, that in itself is impactful. I'm sure you're well aware of that. The muscles here and across your shoulders, and bras are never right. You know, that in itself is part of the process. And even, you know, you as a schoolgirl, you know, rolling your shoulders forward, hiding yourself, because, you know, you just, you know what I mean? There's all of that in the posture of a lady. But
Yeah.
now you're granny, you can actually stick them out again and put your shoulders back and claim back your posture, because this is what this is about. And like I said, Tai Chi gives you that connection between your energy and your brain and everything. What else to say? Because we're on the public wire, I'm not gonna, you know, ask you some invasive questions, but I am a little bit concerned about that shielding on your chest. So I'm going to ask you, have you lost anyone recently?
No. Well, a few people a couple of years ago, yes.
Right. Oh, I put it, oh my word. You might have to go, mightn't you? Bring them in. But anyway, I think I think I'll be able to let you go soon. But okay, so can I ask you a question then? Are you sad about anything?
I am. It's a lot going on. Yes.
Right, because that's what that is. That little pink on your heart is saying, okay, guys, this is the message. I'm wearing my badge of honor, which is I'm a little bit sad, and so just leave me alone. It's kind of like that. It's like I'm just not open for you to tap my resources right now.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's another thing. What's your name, by the way?
Kedra.
Kedra, beautiful. Well, you're a
Thank you.
psychic goddess who has incredible powers of healing. And, you know, don't be fooled by your suburban reality.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
you are on all cylinders. You are showing up like literally like an ancient goddess who's
Wow.
obviously got some really important work to do. I don't know whether it's just in the spin of your family or your community or whatever, but I really am here to give you a little bit of a kick up the pants.
Thank you. I really need that and appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're all done. I think you should carry on with your grandbabies. And Dan, send me some better pictures, better lit. You've all got your
Well,
hands full now.
We'll do that, and we really appreciate your time this morning too, and thanks for doing this. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Do you just want me to send those to you through Messenger?
No, we're going to have another call. If you could just get a decent, I mean, I've already seen, you know, or I can just help you more. I mean, you know, I can, you know, your wife mentioned grandbabies. You know, let's do some shots of some of your kids, because I'd love to be able to give each one a very specific kind of tip.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and with regard to Kedra, just with your eyes, they're getting strained, my dear. So just put the damn thing down sometimes.
Okay. Will do.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys are in your absolute element, and I'm really glad to have had this experience. And seeing as no one else joined us, it became a sort of Colorado family thing. I really enjoyed it. Okay, well, I'm going to stop now, and I'm going to just send you my love. But Dan, I guess we're connected on Messenger. I'd like to share phone numbers with you so we can just sort of be in touch.
That'd be great. That'd be
Cool.
awesome.
All
I
right,
love
mate.
that.
All right, lots of love. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Talk soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye bye.